Welcome back. Thinking about making a big life change, perhaps selling or buying a new home? Eddie Campos with RE/MAX is here to break down what's happening in our local real estate market right now. We talked a month ago. Things are a little bit better than they were. They weren't bad before.
Yeah, so things have definitely picked up. First-time home buyers are a little bit lower than normal, but there's still great activity out there. And when you look at the sales numbers, you can see the activity that's happened. So end of August, we saw interest rates go down to in the high fives. Now they're around 6.1%. I just talked to Susan Noel over at Huntington Bank on the way here. She said 6.1, 6.2 with a buyer with good credit and down payment. They could easily get into a home for around 6.1.
So there's talk the Fed lowering the interest rate next month. In fact, more of the Fed chairs have been talking about, yes, we think we should do that too. And the stock market really popped today. I'm just wondering, if it goes a quarter percentage point, how much does that affect the real estate? Does
Huge.
it?
Yeah, it'll make a big difference. So you'll be below 6%, right? So knock on wood.
Yeah.
National Association of Home Builders, National Association of Realtors, Mortgage Bankers Association, and even here locally, everyone feels confident that we're going to see an interest rate drop. So, you know, last year we got disappointed a couple of times, so you never know what's going to happen. You know, the economy has a big effect on that, right? Inflation, where's the labor market? So it's 100% not guaranteed, but we're all hoping.
You were telling me a few months ago that last year or even earlier this year had been like wildly inconsistent. Just a lot of fluctuation, no consistent, just really erratic.
Right.
Are things a little more calm now, or still a little bit of the other one?
Things are not calm, things are busy.
Okay.
So
that's a good thing.
The erratic behavior that we had, first half of the year was very inconsistent. Second half of the year has been very strong. So traditionally, first half of the year, especially when you get into March, April, May, June, big selling seasons, those are typically really strong months. I'm busier now than it was then.
Here are the numbers now. Home sales are up slightly. New listings up substantially.
Yes.
Time of the market, is that 53? Is that reasonable now?
So that's one of those things that where it looks like it's a negative, but for buyers it's positive because homes are sitting longer. So I will tell you, last month that was 64 days.
Okay.
So in comparison to the month before, it's down a little bit, but compared to year over year, it's up a little.
So the longer it takes to sell a home,
it'll be better for buyers.
Waiting it
You can
out.
take a little bit longer to be able to make your decision. You don't have to make it inside the home with a purchase agreement in hand. You can maybe go back for a second walkthrough because maybe the first time you didn't catch everything. You know, you only have a few minutes that you're going to be in the house, and then you probably go on to the second home or third home that you're looking at. This gives you an opportunity to maybe go back and really walk through thoroughly. Let's take a closer look at that basement. Let's take a look at the chimney, and you know, we thought we saw some mortar cracks, things like that.
Well, 2 years ago or even a year ago, there were multiple buyers for a house.
Yes.
And okay, let's say you're asking like 250. I better go in at 260.
Yeah.
Or I haven't got a chance of getting a sniff at acceptance.
Yeah. So funny enough, so I just checked before I came here. Multiple offers are still happening. There's probably at least 2.1 to 2.5 multiple offers for every home. And according to the National Association of Realtors, number of cash sales is actually up. It's 29% of all deals that are happening. So there's still good things happening. Multiple offers are still happening. Over list price is still happening. It's just not as substantial as it was. You know, what we saw back in 2020, 21, 22, that was an anomaly. That was our unicorn, right? Yeah. Things are getting back to a more normal market.
What are you seeing as far as the demographic of people buying? It's been a national story. They talk about 50-year loans, a number of things. Because the average first-time homeowner is now 40 years old, which is just awful. I mean, when you and I were younger, we were in our 20s.
22.
Sure. Ways of repairing that. But are you seeing some younger single people buying homes or not?
Yeah, not like we used to, but like right now I currently have 2 first-time home buyers that are below 30 years old, which is unusual, but I have a couple that are over 30 years old. So the activity is kind of spread across the board. So I think I mentioned that, you know, first-time home buyers are around 25%. You know, that's still a good chunk of the market. So you still have people that are downsizing. You have a lot of baby boomers, people my age and your age that are older, and let's start thinking about getting into a ranch home. We want to get rid of the big 2-story home. Those people are very active because they have equity to work with. They can probably pay cash, and they can make those decisions a little bit easier and faster.
What's the sweet spot of what's the home price the biggest demand? 150 to 250, or what range?
You know, the average sale price is around $250,000. Let's say. anything up to about 350 is pretty active. So when you consider the first-time home buyers, they're searching for homes up to 350,000 these days. My first home was less than 125,000.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, and most people were that way. But it's a different time. So right now, anything in that up to 250 to 350, that's where the most activity is happening. After you get into that market, anything over 350, it gets a little slower. Obviously, there's fewer people that are buying in that market.
Okay, so you're a busy guy these days.
I'm a very busy guy these days.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, but I always make time for you.
He's right about that. This is Eddie Campos for MariMax, and housing prices doing very, very well, and hopefully they continue to sell pretty good.
Yeah, great to see you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Eddie, you too. Thanks so much.